Welcome to the first of two webinars to talk to you about returning to practice in the Bristol, North Somerset, South Gloucestershire area. My name is Donna Thomas and I'm the Nurse Supply Project Manager working for Healthier Together. This first webinar is entitled Your Personal Study and it's designed to talk you through the academic requirements of the course at the University of the West of England. The second webinar will introduce you to our partner organisations and talk to you about the placement opportunities across our area. We really value your skills as a return to practice nurse, and both our system organisations and the University of the West of England are here to help you make decisions regarding your return to practice journey. Once you are a nurse, you are always a nurse, and we hope you find the following information useful. I would now like to take this opportunity to introduce you to Jacqui Caskey, who is the module lead for the Return to Practice course.
Thank you, Donna, for inviting me to do this webinar. My name is Jacqui Caskey, and I'm the module and programme lead for the Return to Practice course at the University of the West of England. And I'm going to take you through a short presentation about our Return to Practice course. So to start with, course requirements. You must have undergone previous nurse training or education in the United Kingdom, therefore previous registration with the Nursing and Midwifery Council. Your registration must now have lapsed. There is no stipulation or limit regarding how long ago your nurse training took place, and you can only return to the part or parts of the register that you have lapsed from. The length of the course runs over approximately 4 or 8 months. So 4 months is the short course, 8 months is the long course. And this is to allow individuals to complete the 450 practice hours required by the NMC. So for example, if you can commit full time to completing your 450 hours, you should be able to manage the short course. If, however, you need to do these hours on a part-time basis, you will need the 8-month time frame in order to fulfil this requirement. So what to expect from the course? The course starts with 6 consecutive weeks of taught theory. This takes place on a Monday and a Friday morning, and they are predominantly online seminars. There are some on-campus, practical, skills-based sessions, and these are in order to prepare you for your assessment. The course content is about preparing you to re-enter the nursing register, focusing on professionalism and the NMC Code of Conduct, being safe and reflective practitioners, using evidence-based practice, and ensuring individuals are cared for, encompassing the 6 C's in nursing. And if you don't know what they are care, compassion, courage, communication, competence, and commitment. And they are considered to be the attributes of a registered nurse. So assessment requirements for the course. The course is formally assessed in 3 ways. There is a practice/competency document, which is completed in practice with your supervisor and assessors, and this is the same as in undergraduate nurse education. There is a numeracy test, again as in undergraduate nurse education, and there is an OSCE, which is an observed, structured clinical exam. But please don't worry about this, we will prepare you for it. So the timeline from study to re-registration. You are undertaking your return to practice as part of a university course. Therefore, there are university processes and regulations that govern this, as well as the requirements set out by the NMC. The time frame for the short and long course allows you to complete your practice hours in a timescale that is appropriate to you. Therefore, assessment submissions are based on this, as well as the timetable for exam boards at the university. So an example of this is, if your course starts in September this year, You'll have 6 weeks of taught course, which will take you to the end of October, and then you will continue in practice doing your 450 hours. Your practice assessment document is due for submission in early January, and your OSCE will take place in early January. And please remember that you may start your practice placement as soon as the course starts. So submission dates and the exam board. As in the previous slide, assessment submission dates have to be in line with university processes. For example, an exam board that confirms and publishes your results. Therefore, to use the previous example, the course starts in September. The 6 weeks taught course takes you to the end of October, and then you continue in practice doing your placement hours. Your practice assessment document is due to be submitted in early January, and your OSCE takes place in early January. Therefore, your assessment marks will go to the February exam board. So re-registering with the NMC. Once your assessment marks are published by the exam board, the university is then in a position to recommend you for re-registration with the NMC. However, please do remember that we are not allowed to do that until your results or your assessment marks have been published by the exam board. So the process for re-registering with the NMC is as follows. At the university, we let the NMC know that you have met the requirements for the return to practice course. The NMC will then contact you by post and invite you to register an online NMC account with them. They will use this to contact you while your registration is being processed. For example, they might need to ask for further information. According to the NMC website, this takes up to 7 days. However, it may vary depending on personal circumstances. And as soon as the NMC have processed everything, they will reissue your NMC PIN number. Thank you for listening. I do hope that goes some way to explaining how the Return to Practice course works at the University of the West of England. Thank you.
So Jacqui, if I haven't studied before, what academic support can I expect to receive?
There is a huge amount of support available academically for students. Our library has an amazing service where they will help you with academic writing, literature searching, just finding information that you might need, also with numeracy. They're very, very, very helpful. They will tailor things to your specific needs. You can join group sessions to do things with a group if that's how you prefer to do it. However, the help is available for you, but you have to ask for it and you have to access it yourself. It isn't something we actually arrange formally throughout the course.
Okay. Thank you, Jacqui. And if I'd worked previously as an adult nurse and then say I wanted to come back and be a children's nurse and train through the Return to Practice course, is this something that I could do?
You have to return to the part of the register that you were on before. So if you're an adult nurse, you do a Return to Practice course to become an adult nurse again on the adult register. If you were dual registered, you can return to both. You just have to do placements for both things.
Okay. And is the Return to Practice course a condensed version of the nursing degree?
No, it's not. You are considered a nurse already when you're a Return to Practice student because you've already undergone a period of nurse training or education, depending on how long ago you did it, will depend on what you call it, I think. Therefore, you are considered a nurse, and the Return to Practice course is about preparing you to re-enter the nursing register.
Okay. And Jacqui, I've heard that there's a budget to support the return to practice nurses. Could you just talk a little bit more about this?
Of course. So the Return to Practice course is funded by Health Education England. They pay the employer or the placement provider to support you, and they also pay you a bursary as well as the student. This is paid through the employer and then it's handed to you through them.
Okay. And Jacqui, if I was a return to practice nurse sitting watching this, considering a return to nursing practice, what advice would you give?
I would just say go ahead and do it. I think if you've got this far, you've done the hard part. You've already thought about whether you can actually undertake it and how it will fit with your life. You are a nurse, and if you really want to come back, then we will support you to do that.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you for watching our first webinar. We hope you found it useful and informative. There are 3 steps now to begin your return to practice journey. Think about the placement that you would like to return to. Think about the speciality that you're interested in and contact the corresponding placement lead. Our return to practice placement leads in all our organisations would be only too happy to have a conversation with you about the area in which you would like to return. Enrol on the University of the West of England Return to Practice course. Complete your taught sessions and your placement hours, and then return to practice. It would be lovely to see you. Thank you for watching.